percentage?
I would say maybe about 10.
10 out of 100. So 10%. So people with these accidental policies, they go out and purchase. So 10 out of 100. So you'll have a 90% chance you won't pass away of an accident.
Right.
And a lot of times too, these car accidents are excluded by some of these companies with an accidental only life insurance policy.
Right.
You know.
And you know, like you said, once again, we do want to educate the community. What it is a lot of times when people get life insurance policies, they don't read the fine print. And then sometimes we get people who come into the funeral home who have life insurance policies, no problem. But in fine print, it said you have to actively hold this life insurance for 2 years in order for the claim to pay out. And that person had passed away, and they've only had the policy for a year.
Right.
A lot of companies will not
Mm-hmm.
make that payout.
Well, that's called a modified policy, and I'll talk about that now. A lot of times, too, when people put these policies, they receive opportunities in the mail or by way of, maybe their credit union or their bank may send them something by way of mail, or they purchase life insurance on the internet. You're purchasing a modified life insurance policy. It will now go into effect for 2 years. The face amount will not go into effect for the first 2 years. People don't quite understand that because, like Andre said, you have to understand the fine print. When you purchase a life insurance policy, and there's no health questions, there's no medical exam, there's no phone interview, where you're automatically going to be put on a modified life insurance policy. Your life insurance face amount probably won't go into effect definitely for the first 2 years, and I've seen it at as high as the first 3 years. So consumers out there, you have to be very careful. That's why I come on the air every single week to educate, people about purchasing life insurance. And thankful, I'm so thankful for a lot of you that come into my office and let me review your life insurance policy and to get you updated, because a lot of times these people buy these policies years ago, they think they're set. But a lot of times they find out the face amount is decreased down to zero. They have no cash value in the policy, or they have a term policy that's going to be term out. They can't afford to make the premiums. So there's a lot of reasons to come in. Let me review your life insurance policy. And to get in touch with me, again, my name is Donald Marquez. You're tuned into Your Insurance Connection. My phone number is 702-236-2624, 702-236-2624. I have my guests, Andre Sr. and Andre Jr. on my show today. And they own Serenity Funeral Home. And Andre's been in the business for over 40 years. He's dressing people up as a kid.
Right.
That's kind of interesting. But, today, what you did 40 years ago is helping you today with families, because it gives yourself a gratification that when a family came in, their loved ones was probably in a car accident or something happened to them tragic, and now you can put them all back together.
Right. Right. And that's important. And at Serenity, we strive on being very personal with everyone that walks through the door. Everyone that walks through the door gets a hug, and it's a genuine hug. We're not a corporation. We're privately owned, so we're not taught sitting in a class and being taught how to deal with our families that come in. So we're not robots.
I see.
A lot of times, these big corporation funeral homes, not to put them down, they're very corporate, very, very corporate, and they're just going to go, whatever's on the book, whatever in front of you, that's what it is.
Right.
And one of the most important things I tell families is, if they don't go with us, and even if they go with us, you don't have to come in presenting your insurance policy, because a lot of times the corporation funeral homes will work on that. They know that you have a $100,000 policy, they're going to hit you over the head.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times we don't ask people, we let them tell us that they have a policy, because we don't want them thinking that we are trying to milk their policy.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we do, and we try to tell people to be very careful with your policies when you present them to the funeral homes.
Well, another thing too, selling life insurance, and I've been selling life insurance for over 22 years. Okay. And I explain to people when they have a life insurance policy, this is your collateral to take into the funeral homes. But however, you have to be careful, because it is an emotional purchase. You have to be very careful because some of these lawyers, like you said, some people can take advantage of the policy, try to spend all the money in the policy. However, in my understanding, it works when a person brings a life insurance policy and a final expense life insurance. Let's say the life insurance face amount is $35,000 on a final expense life insurance, and let's say the average cost is around about with the plot around 15,000, opening, closing, headstone, the complete service. Now, to my understanding is once the services are paid for, the funeral home files a claim in behalf of the insured, and the beneficiary receive the balance. How long does it take for the beneficiary to receive the balance of the money? Because it comes directly from the funeral home, doesn't it?
No, it actually comes, the balance, actually, it depends on what insurance you have. Some of them will pay it out to the funeral home,
Okay.
and some of them will pay it out to the family itself.
Okay.
And,
Initially, or because you have to pay for your services, so they're going to use the policy as collateral. They walk in with the policy. Here's my policy.
mhm.
Take the fees for your services out of the policy, and reimburse us the balance.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's happened where a family come in and the insurance, they worked it out, or we all worked it out, where the insurance would pay us for the actual service that they're doing, and then we write a check to the family for the balance. So that has happened.
Okay.
That
Okay.
has happened.
And I just want our listeners to be clear on how the process works,
Yeah.
because I encourage them to use the policy as collateral. Now, once you see that policy is active, I would imagine you do it, Andre, right? Okay, so you go through the procedure. Once you see the policy is active, now you can go to work. Now your dad can go to work right away with the body, and the procedure can start. And that's before you receive payment.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, especially if the insurance company said that they're going to pay out that claim, then we can kind of move forward and proceed with getting the family some closure during that time, because it's very difficult.
Yeah, I
It's
can
very
understand.
difficult. But for me, it's not a job, because I'm born and raised in this community. My dad's born and raised in this community, and this is what we do. So one of our mottos is who else is really going to take care of the community, you know, uh, if they're not from here.
Right. I
Well, we're
understand.
from here. Vegas is extremely small,
Mhm.
a really close knit type of group here in Las Vegas, and not to be funny, but it just seems like everybody knows him
Mhm.
or knows me.
Right.
I can be somewhere totally in the grocery store and not know anyone in there, and someone can come up to me and say, "You're Andre's son, aren't you?" So that's that just tells you a little bit of the history that we have here in Las Vegas. So if anybody's going to really take care of our community, it has to be us.
Right.
That's from the community.
Absolutely. And I'm also from the community, born and raised in Las Vegas. And this is my give back to educate our listeners on the importance of having life insurance. So, this is a phase we all have to go through in life. And why postpone it? Now, I do have to ask you this question so our listeners can understand. In talking to both of you, it was really shocking to me how many young people are losing their lives today. It just really was amazing to me. I would think it would be a lot older senior citizens that are passing away, but we're looking at a balance almost with the young people versus the older seniors.
Yeah.
It's
It is definitely a balance. I would say it's kind of like 50-50. We have a lot of young people who are dying from heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure. They're committing suicide, and also they're killing each other. Um,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's really
that's one of
unfortunate.
the things that's unfortunate,
Yes.
and that's why Andre was saying that we're not just a regular funeral home. It's not a job; it's a ministry.
Mhm.
So you have to be ready to minister to these families. But there is quite a few young people who are passing away from various things: lupus, diabetes, even cancer. And it's just really, really strange and an eye opener. Like I said, I've been in the business for over 40 years, and I've never seen this many young people with these type of diseases that they're having right now.
Right.
And it's never too young to purchase life insurance.
It's not.
You know, people like to postpone that. You know, you have single parents out there with 2 or 3 kids, diabetic, bad diet habits, whatever, or cancer, like you mentioned earlier. Things can happen in your life. Now, what happens to the children? You know,
Right.
even if they have something is better than nothing, I encourage people to call me, get some life insurance, protect your family. Now, let me ask you. Now we're going into the holiday season. Do you find your business being less busier, or do you find you're cycling up during this period?
Well, right now, and it seems like every holiday season, it starts to get extremely busy. You know, you have the holidays that are here, and so right now you're finding a lot of depression, a lot of suicides, a lot of people really lonely and by themselves during this holiday time. So for the funeral home, it's extremely busy. It's extremely busy, and you know, like you said earlier with the young kids, you know, I've had my life insurance policy since I was 25, and so what I find is when we do a lot of these funeral services and things like that, I use that as an opportunity also to talk to uh, the younger the younger crowd and let them know, you know, the importance of really getting life insurance and saving money and putting money aside for their family, for their kids. Because a lot of times that these young kids are dying and killing each other and just passing away. What a lot of people forget what happens to the kids.
Right.
What happens to the
And
kids?
I talk about that all the time.
And-
The kids are left a burden on someone else. I mean, you know,
Right.
their family and all that, but it costs money to feed them, house them, clothe them, send them to school. So if you lose a son or a daughter, now you inherited three of your grandchildren. You know, that's a large burden on a parent that's already raised kids already and trying to enjoy themselves. You know, for more information, I want you to give me a call. Let's talk about your life insurance. Let's do a life insurance review. Let's get sit down, have a serious conversation about it. You know, my phone number is 702-236-2624. I'm located on 2300 West Sahara, right on the corner of Sahara and Rancho. I'm located in the U.S. Bank building. Again, my name is Marquez, and you're tuned into Your Insurance Connection. You know, Serenity Funeral Home is there for you. If you need them, give them a call. Again, their phone number is 702-647-0123. Again, 702-647-0123. You know, don't put this off. You know, I think that's the worst thing we do is procrastinate. I'm going to do it next year. Next year is today. All right, I'm going to do it at the first of the year. No, let's do it right now. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it over with. You know, it's a gift of love. You know, if you want to give a really nice Christmas gift to your family, a parent or a brother or a sister, and I need to get some life insurance on my loved ones. Get them some life insurance. You know, this is your Christmas present.
Right.
You know, I got you. Anything happens, I want to make sure you're okay. And instead of going on, because everybody's going to spend a lot of money this Friday. But like you said earlier, Andre, you know, they're spending money. If you hold back on the fun in life, let's call it like that.
Right.
You know, you could set money aside. Maybe not eat lunch, but 3 times a week instead of 5 times a week. Lunch can average $15, $10 for lunch, and your average funeral cost is running about $15,000. Am I right?
Right. You're right. And believe it or not, Don, it's backed up in the Bible. In the scripture, it tells you to put yourself in a position where if you pass away, that your children be taken care of, and your children's children can be taken care of. So it's a biblical principle that you basically get insurance. A lot of people get offended. I used to make a speech, and sometimes I still make a speech to families at the gravesite, and when I'm thanking them for choosing us to be there for them, I tell people all the time, if you spend that much money on a meal at McDonald's, you can spend that much money once a month paying for life insurance.
Okay. You know what? I want to thank you guys for coming on today, Andre Senior, Andre Junior, of Serenity Funeral Home. We have to do this again. This is so important. We could do this for a whole hour. Talk about this situation because it impacts our whole entire community. You know, again, my name is Donald Marquez. You're tuned into Your Insurance Connection. To get in touch with the Andres, their phone number is 702-647-0123. This is Your Insurance Connection. Have a safe Thanksgiving. You know, don't eat too much. Don't hurt yourself. And Keep it locked right here at Power 88 because Greg DeVille is up next. Until next week, y'all just keep it crispy. Okay, thanks guys. That was quick. Huh?
Yeah, quick 30 minutes.